How are you settling in?
Settling in great. It's been a whirlwind. It's a great community. You know, a lot of support from parents, business leaders, our entire leadership team. You know, it's been great. Great 43 days.
Good.
And for people who don't know about you and your past, you come from Orlando, right?
Correct. I was the deputy superintendent there for the last 6 years, which, you know, pretty large. We had ninth largest district, about 209,000 students, so not as big as Clark, but, you know, some of the similar challenges. And that's what one of the components and the exciting pieces of being here and really looking at this job.
Yeah. Are you feeling pressure from parents and from, you know, folks in our community to make it better fast? People are impatient.
Absolutely, they are, and so am I, which is a good thing because
Good.
I'm impatient as well. I think our children deserve the best immediately, and that's one of the things that when I came in right away, you know, I sent in my 90-day entry plan before I got here.
Yeah.
Just because of the sense of urgency, because our kids deserve the best immediately right now, because they can't wait a year, they can't wait a day. So those are some of the things that, which is, I think, is a perfect marriage for me here.
And I think a lot of people, you kind of answered that, but say, well, why would he want this job? You know, with our history and the troubles and how we really need to turn things around.
Well, you know, and I think that's where being here and be part of this community for me to get out there, because there's great things. There's pockets of greatness happening here. We have great schools. We have great teachers. So it's how do we create a great system of schools so every child sits in a great school. And that's one of the things that, you know, working with the media, working with our parents to share the great stories that are happening here. So then we can then build that energy around the entire system.
Well, Dana and I have 1,000 questions, but our viewers have questions too. So we're going to take one of our first viewer questions from Allison Cromwell. She says, you've expressed that you want highly qualified teachers in every classroom, but what are you going to do to keep highly qualified teachers in the classroom? You
know, that's something that we need to work on. And that's one of the things that when you really look at the recruitment and retention, keeping our teachers, is providing that level of support, but also look at the investment from this community, and I'd say community, the entire State Department, the Nevada legislature, to really help us maintain teachers in our schools. So obviously that comes with a little bit more money, and some of the things that I'm working on currently right now, you know, having conversations with legislators as we're going into legislative session.
Be specific with us. You'd like to see teachers what? You said get more support and what? More pay? Is that what you're...
Well, I think it's a combination, right? It's really more support, more pay. The other thing is that, you know, I'm going to tell you, the class size, I've heard it is an issue.
Yes! Thank you!
Yeah, a lot of parents that Beth just recently chatted with said 34 to 38 students in a class is a big number.
It is, and that's some of the things that we need to really look at, and I go back to this community and the investment that you want to have for our students. Also comes, I'm going to be honest, internally, right? We also then have to really look at our fiscal house as well, and that's one of the things that I'm committed to doing as well, and being transparent with our community to see, hey, we're not hiding money. Here's what we have. Here's how we're funding education, and then how do we get the funding in the right places.
I'm glad to hear you say that, because there is, just being frank with you, some skepticism in Southern Nevada about whether the money CCSD gets is really being used for teachers and used the way that it should be. So I love hearing that you plan to be transparent with us about exactly where our tax dollars are going. I think that's important.
It is, and that's how you continue to get support in this community for our teachers. Because I'm going to tell you, parents and our community really support our teachers, and so do I. They're one of the key components for our students to succeed.
Paul Anthony wants to know how we can get Nevada schools to a higher national rating as well. He's one of our viewers.
You know, and that's one of the things that we need to really look at and share when I talk about transparency with our money, but also transparency with our data. As you know, last year we reported with our NAEP scores, which is a national report card, and where we're not at the bottom, right? We're competing with other urban districts across this country in the 4th grade and 8th grade. And our AP numbers, which is a national assessment of college readiness, our numbers continue to increase, not only in participation and performance. So it's how do we then continue to expand some of those offerings and then share the news that our kids are competing with students across this country.
But then we hear conversely that ACT scores place us in the bottom of the nation. So it's kind of hard for a parent to know, what do I believe?
Well, no, you're right. You're right. And actually, I shared this with our principals in our leadership team last Friday. When you look at our numbers, we are, and one of the things is really being transparent and sharing the information, because when you look at our ACT scores, for school systems and states that offer the test for all 11th graders, we are at the bottom. But then when you see in our kids that take it multiple times, we're in the top half.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's how do we then share and educate our viewers, our parents, and our community about how our kids are performing, and then how do we then more students take it more times.
We have a personal question for you. This is from Diana Lee. I heard that your wife and children will not be moving to Las Vegas. That's hard for people to hear. Is it true?
It is, and I'll tell you. Well, my wife is going to be transitioning here. My two boys are in college. So they're out of the house. So one I got to get out of the payroll because he's 1 year from college. My daughter is her senior year, and I don't think I'll win the dad award if I move her senior year in high school.
Thank you for explaining that.
So I think that was as we were I was trying to bribe her to come with me, but she's very involved in her school with the arts. She's in the choir and the theater, and she's finishing her senior year. So, as a matter of fact, my family just left yesterday because she's starting her school year on Monday.
Okay.
But after that, my wife will be here.
Oh, great. Thank you.
And we do have to wrap up, but really quick, if you can answer, a lot of people were asking about the marijuana money, too. When are we going to see more of that to help the school district? Is that something that you're going to be able to explain and move around and throughout the district?
Well, that's something that we're certainly having conversations, and I think we need to really educate the viewers and educate, because there is some of the money in education. Is how is it getting there? It's very complicated.
Right.
So it's something that obviously we need to continue to educate the parents and the community where the money is really going.
We need an hour with you.
I know.
Absolutely.
We need an hour with Superintendent Jesus Jara. Listen, from all of us at Action News, welcome to our community. Best of luck to you. We want to see you succeed because all of our kids are counting on it. So thank you.
Well, if I succeed, our kids succeed.
That's
and that's
right.
a priority. So thank you.
It's a big job, and we know
is.
that you have to really want to do it. So
Absolutely.
we appreciate that. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.